So I like to summarize all this into basically looking over and looking back of what happened in my education and what made the biggest difference. Then I would actually summarize it into these few points. So looking back, the number 3 aspects of studying, as I showed it in my life, is that you must invest time. I invested incredible amount of time at home to rewrite what the school was happening and effort. So altogether, it's self-initiation, study at home, invest time and effort into your studies. And only then basically I can look at my backfalls basically as lack of parenting as an opportunity. Now why do I say that? I say that because my parents were not around, everyone was working and they were divorced, so not many people were around at home. So I had ample amount of space to grow. And I was on the street and in the playground after school and also at the neighbors. I was exposed to all kinds of experiences, how to clean, how to cook, how to do the laundry, how to iron, because at the neighbor I learned all this. I had ample amount of exploration because I had space for this. Of course, I was lucky enough to be with the right people in the right time to give me the right guidance, but then again, sport was always there and it always helped me. And since my parents did not interfere, and that's the key word, not interfere with my growth, with my exploration, but rather than that, they encouraged me and said, please do, if you like it, do, if you don't like it, try something else. So the biggest aspect of that you must encourage your children, you encourage your own self, and give yourself enough ample amount of space and time to explore. I like to summarize what I got from school because it was very important what I got from school. From school, I got number 1 is I had an area where I could socialize. Secondly, I got a place for sports. And thirdly, I got a place where I was spoon-fed. And these were all very important attributes. So let's see what are these one by one. It was also important to go to school because school gave me also important structure. And the structure was a good thing at that time. Why? Because it gave me a place where I could be social and place and time, give me experiential learning, all those experiences which I couldn't by myself, couldn't study. I needed my other students, fellows, classmates there to study together, to hear their questions, hear their reasoning. It was all there. And again, school gave me spoon feeding, and I explained this to you that basically I was lucky enough to want to know enough and more to make sense of it. So I invested the time to translate all that spoon feeding into what makes sense to me. But the biggest thing what school gave me, sport was a very important part of my life. We had physical education class with my special people, teachers, and every single day taught us endurance, taught us discipline, taught us agility, flexibility, taught us to become organized, manage time, and gave us achievement and success feeling every single day. It taught us teamwork and leadership, and never less to work hard and always hard. And when you thought it was hard, the next day was always harder. So you got through that, you always had great success feeling. And you learn most of all to focus and strategize, because once you start to play sports and sport games, you need all these aspects. So when I look back, basically, I see that school is an important factor, but not basically for what it was used to be for the spoon feeding, but all the social aspects and the character building, and especially through sports. Education in 2014, if I look back now, would I gone through the same roads as I did before? I might say I don't have to, because here is the internet. Here is an incredible online possibility to learn home. And as I was saying, self-initiation, working at home, studying at home, translating it to your own language, invest time and effort. You can all do that at home now, learning online. So you have Google, you have Wikipedia, you have YouTube, and you have all the free online courses through MIT, Coursera, which are free. And you can get even a paper, a degree, a certification from them. So if I basically look at this, today's education, today's education very much possibly can be done at home, as your majority of the time is self-initiation. Invest your time and hard work to make sense on your own language what you heard there. The biggest university degree I received in Pakistan, and you may wonder why. Because all the things which I was looking for back then as a child, why I need to study, basically being here in this country, by giving back all the knowledge which I accumulated and giving up for society, I basically automatically receive those. And how does it come all together to basically make up for the lack of things which I had in my life? The expertise is basically came with an opportunity, and the biggest degree which I received from a country being in Pakistan. And what have I received here? What have I received here is basically unconditional love. I received a community, I received a home, and I received a family and a large amount of friends. I received caring and I received belongings. I received appreciation and acknowledgement. So I received an incredible opportunity to grow. Grow is to learn to love unconditionally, to relate to others, because I couldn't do that socially. I was in sports too much. Relate to kids, to develop compassion and learn to become a human being. Now, professionally what I learned in this country and just by being here is also incredible. Because I can thank Rehan Alawala for all the learnings on social media, on Facebook, making videos, and it's possible today that I can speak to you on a video like this. That also I can reach out to people via social media, especially Facebook, and I can teach, and I can network, and I can give back. So what I also learned is family values, because I am within these wonderful people. And I also learned a wonderful skill, which is mind mapping. And mind mapping made me possible that I can speak to you today in a way that I would never be able to do it before, because I was able to organize my thoughts. Because I found that all this knowledge which I had, it was useful everywhere. I was able to teach publicly and freely. I was able to do my trainings. I am able to encourage people. I'm able to teach them health, especially their mind health, and inspire them to become the entrepreneur of their own lives. Now, what did this all cost me? And that's the aspect I want to share with you. So it cost me that I had to give up working for money. It cost me that I had to give up my ego. It cost me. I gave up wearing revealing clothes. I gave up a life which I used to live, which was meaningless, and arrived to a meaningful life, which is life in moderation and very high meaning, while I'm able to give back. I found that my education, all my knowledge, came all together when I was able to give it back and serve society with this. And when I'm able to give back, I receive the entire world. So take your time, build yourself as the #1 factor, build your knowledge and build yourself. #2, immediately give it back to society in small ways. You don't have to build a hospital, but you can go out and teach people, make them smile, to make them feel better, make them exercise a little bit, pick up garbage. Whatever you do is do it with the people, small little things at a time. All those small little things will add together and will give you the entire world. And all the love which I wanted to receive from my parents, and I wanted to study basically and become an expert, so maybe as I'm an expert I will receive this back from the world. It actually, I did receive it, but only when I freely give it back to the world. I like to pause here and ask you again, think, what are you willing to give and give up for your education? What is your education going to cost you? And I also learned that it was important that my parents weren't there really in crucial times, because it allowed me the space to grow. And it was great that they didn't pay for any of my education, because it made me work so hard while I was studying, because I was paying for every single hour of a class I was going through. So I'm thankful for all that to happen. And this message is also for parents to look into, to allow your children to work while they are in school, while they are in university. It's good for them to work hard. Only through working hard is basically the diamond, or the coal is being shined, and the diamond will come out. So allow that, don't protect your children. Allow that shining to happen, be there, guide them, and emotionally support them so they have the strength and the encouragement. And I guess that's the only one thing what my mother could give me that encouraged me to keep going. So thank you for that. Formal education, whatever form you are going to learn, will start working for you if you build yourself as a human being. And once you build yourself as a human being, then you are ready to give back. So you start teaching, so start giving back to society whatever you received, and love will follow. There's 3 steps which I can summarize this whole thing. Number 1 is build yourself, give back to society from yourself, and you will receive the whole world. Thank you, Pakistan.